Let's talk a bit about foreign policy. You're a small country, but there is currently on both the Chinese side and the US side a great interest in Southeast Asia, and you're at a strategic point. How do you place your country in this US-China rivalry?
We have an exceptionally good relation with the United States. President Biden is one of the best presidents in many years in the United States, and he has done tremendous for the U.S. economy, far more than this warmonger, unpredictable Donald Trump, who is a real estate broker.
And who's running again for president?
Who's running again. Well, look at the U.S. democracy. When you have someone in Europe, whom I know well, someone like Donald Trump would never be elected president of the United States. But it shows also the fragility, the precarious situation of politics in the U.S., of its judicial system, of its institutions, that someone like Donald Trump can mislead millions of people into voting for him. It's the biggest fraud in the U.S. history.
But how do you place your country in that rivalry? You've mentioned a few times that you try to be neutral. Is that possible?
Well, I wouldn't say try to be neutral, in the sense we have a great relationship with the United States, but we don't see China with the same lenses as the United States. China is not a threat to anyone. China is primarily focused on peace, stability in the Asia region, because China knows it is in a very fragile regional environment. Any false move using force to settle disputes in the region, whether Taiwan, South China Sea, or China-India territorial dispute, would set in motion chain of events that would not be possible to stop, and they would drag down China for a long time, and the whole world. So one virtue of the Chinese is current Chinese leadership, since the Cultural Revolution, they are very prudent, very pragmatic.
And is that why you have reached out for a strategic partnership? I mean, you have a big oil field that you are trying to explore with Australia, but it hasn't worked for 2 decades, and now you have reached out to China. So aren't you tying yourself already a bit there?
No, the Chinese are very interested in developing our gas fields called Greater Sunrise and others. But not only oil and gas, they are very interested in investing here. We are interested in them coming to invest. But we don't have a single cent of loan from China. Our debt, which is only 13% of our GDP, so one of the lowest in the world as percentage of GDP, has been mostly with ADB, Asian Development Bank, World Bank, and IFC. So we have a great relationship with the United States, and we have a great relationship with China. We will continue that. We disagree with the United States, the way they perceive China as a threat to the United States, as a threat to the world. I'm not convinced. I know China well. I know the United States well. I know Europe inside out. I don't see how one can say China is a threat to the world. Even from the point of view, militarily speaking, China is no match for the United States. The United States has many more allies in the region than China. South Korea, Japan, Philippines, Singapore, and we have zero interest, zero need in having on our soil military presence. We do have 30 or 40 Australian military advisors, 30 maybe Portuguese military police advisors. That's about it. We don't have any other nationality.